if we kind of, they say, Mom, Dad, my business is out there, you know, and they're excited. And then they have a mobile app so they can respond to obviously the big Google push that you need to be mobilized as well. And who's kidding who? We just passed the needle of more than 50% of searches are now on mobile devices versus desktops. Still on desktops, but more so on mobile apps. So if you got a great website and a great mobile app, well, now you need to drive the traffic. So powerful SEO is the need, and GeoSearch can obviously solve that need. So what we do, and we'll get a little bit more into what we do, but we work with small businesses that are in local cities or large businesses that are nationwide, but Google knows where you are. Anybody who's searching, you're on your phone, you're on your desktop, you're on a tablet, you're on an iPad, Google knows where you're located based on your IP. And they see the keywords that you're searching. So they want to deliver, Google wants to deliver you great results because Google wants you to keep coming back to Google, not going to Yahoo or MSN Bing. They want you coming back to Google. So they're always striving to give relevancy and great results. And who's kidding who? Page one is where everything happens, right? That's where the results are. We all go to page one. You have to ask yourself the question, do you go beyond page one when you're on Google? You know, typically you look at the first few results and you want to be on your way. We're an instant information society these days. So page one, if you're on page two, page three, you might as well be on page 50. So page one is where a business needs to be. But on page one, there's also pay-per-click, right? So some people say, well, I'm not going to do the SEO thing. I hear that's like $1,000, $2,000. That's too rich for my blood. I'm just going to fund this Google AdWords. I'll do pay-per-click. I'll put $500 in it. Now, we all know that the pay-per-click, you see that on the side, or sometimes it's the first 2 or 3. On a mobile device, it's usually the first 2 can be obviously Google AdWords. But people, compared to maybe 6 years ago where they didn't know, like, oh, hey, that's number 1, they click it. It does say ads now, and the vast majority of people searching, they know pay-per-click, someone's paying to be there, right? With tool belt, $500, you got a business. You know, as long as you got a website, put it into pay-per-click. But businesses that are on pay-per-click, they plow through it quickly, right? Click, 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 it's done. And more importantly, research shows that 75% of the people that go online don't even bother to click the pay-per-click. So when you compare pay-per-click to organic, and what GeoSearch does is organic, right? We get you to page 1 organically, so you're in the top 10. 75% of people click that. And here's why. Here's the mentality. When you're searching, you see someone on page 1, you think to yourself, okay, well, they got to be good. Google's not going to put any run-of-the-mill business here. So it's instant credibility. But truly, behind all that, the reason why someone's on page 1 is because their website is dialed in and it's what Google wants to see. So it doesn't necessarily, you know, it could be a business that started a month ago and you can get to page 1 if you're doing it right. But a lot of people have the preconception that this is expensive to do this SEO. I'm just going to do pay-per-click, where in reality, pay-per-click is super expensive because you plow through your money very quickly. You'd have to commit thousands of dollars per month if you want to maintain being up there every time a page is searched. But 75% of the people of your market aren't even clicking you. So people don't go past page 1 of Google. We don't. I know I don't personally. Think about your own search habits. Do you go to page 2? Maybe rarely if you're really trying to find the perfect product, for instance. But for the most part, it's page 1, and that's where all the business is. So with GeoSearch, we have affordable packages. So remember, a lot of people have the misnomer thinking, well, it's thousands of dollars. It's not. If you look at our first package on the screen, it's the green one, Power Pack 200. The Power Pack 200 means 200 pages that we build. So let's take a website. Let's just say it's a roofer, because Carrie, you were talking about roofing. Let's say that website is 10 pages, from the home page to a gallery, contact us, you know, the gallery showing some past jobs and pricing. So 10 pages, right? Well, typically, all SEOs out there, they're not adding pages. They're just going to take your 10-page website and they'll say, what keywords do you want? And they'll add that into the text. They'll try to change your description and do H1 tags, that sort of thing. We don't do that. What we do is we say, okay, what cities do you work in and what are your keywords you want to target? And we build pages. So that 10-page website, if they did our Power Pack 200, would become a 210-page website, kind of like 200 billboards all around town advertising the business. So when someone searches for, stone tile roofing replacement or roof leak, and they happen to be in Garland, Texas, or wherever they're located, we're coming up to page 1. Now, we're not, as you notice the price, we're $3.99 a month. We're not $2,000, we're not $1,000, we're not the $3,000 that Carrie was paying. We're $3.99, which means we're low cost with high deliverables. We deliver a lot, big bang for the buck. And someone who is, let's say they're in more than just 10 cities, so 20 cities in our Power Pack 400, so they're covering more territory, or they're growing. We have a lot of companies that have grown with GeoSearch. They start with a Power Pack 200. We're delivering them more business, so they evolve to a Power Pack 400 because they're expanding their business. They're going to new cities, so they can expand along with us. So for $200 more, they're basically getting double coverage. So it's our Power Pack 400, so their 10-page website becomes a 410-page website. And then those two other packages below, that's for nationwide. So when someone has, opposed to a service like a plumber, a dentist, an attorney, so blue collar, white collar, it doesn't matter. If they have a website, they all have one thing in common. They all want to be found. And to be found, it got to be on page 1 of Google. But if someone's nationwide with a product, for instance, they can go nationwide with us. So nationwide, the first one, the XL, is 1,500 pages. So their 10-page website is a 1,510-page website. Very powerful. Is $9.99 a month. And then the package that's double that, so our largest package offered, is 3,000 pages. And the way we do that is it's the 200 most populous cities, so the highest populations, unless the client says, I want to focus on the Southeast. Sorry, I got my water here. I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. I am a little sick. It probably shows in my voice a little bit deeper, but I'll take swigs of water here from time to time. So that nationwide double XL, 3,000 pages, 200 of the largest cities. And like I said, if someone said, we just want to be in the Southeast or the Northeast market, they can still do 200 cities, and they just let us know the region that they want to target. And we've had that where a customer perhaps takes the nationwide XL with 150 cities and just focuses in California and Arizona, for instance. So they can tailor make it for the territories that they want to target. Okay, so as an IAW representative, you're obviously bringing them great products, great solutions, especially to answer the call with being mobile. But offering, if you think about it, a full array of services to your customer means you're giving the mobile apps, and the SEO. I think I wrote mobile all, that should say app. So mobile apps and SEO, of course. It's almost like the 1-2 punch, right? You set them up, they're super happy, but they say, I just need to get more business. I want to grow my business. So the next logical step is to optimize and come up to the top of the search engines. But remember, we build them 200 new pages, right, for that initiation or the most popular package, the Power Pack 200. We don't go in like a bull in the china shop and change their existing 10 pages because they worked hard on that. That's the way they want it to look and feel. We don't mess with that. We build them pages right from the title to the description to the URL string that has the keyword in all these areas. So for those of you who don't know, some of you might have heard of meta tags before. Those days are over. Google doesn't want meta tags. You don't tell Google, hey, here's the keywords I'm targeting. You don't tell Google that. Google decides what they're going to put you up for. However, there's a nice little blueprint that you need to follow that changes from time to time, and we're always tweaking and changing and adjusting for all our customers to stay ahead of the curve, that you need to have your keyword and city in the URL string, in the title, in the description, and in the content. So we cover all these things. We have a team that works full-time just watching what Google's doing, what patents they're applying for, because they don't share their secrets, except when they're trying to protect something they do. They have to go to the patent office, and that's where you can reverse engineer what they're doing, so you can obviously be always optimizing to the fullest. So ultimately, you can have a full array, a full stable of products for your customers. And again, if they do the mobile app with you, they're still at some point needing to do their SEO. So why send the client elsewhere to do their SEO when they can do it with you? Because you have the solution for them. But not just any solution. The solution you have for them is the lowest cost with the highest deliverables that they're ever going to find. You know, ultimately, we help the small business, the mom and pop, that might be complaining that a bigger franchisee or bigger business moved into towns, taking business away from them because those guys are savvy and they're online. It's, you know, it's the younger, faster, hipper business. But we all of a sudden help the small business compete against the big guys. And the big guys could be paying their $3, $4, $5 grand a month in SEO, and then we come along at $3.99 and all of a sudden start dominating the space in that town, in those cities, for those keywords for the small business. So we help the little guy, and that, I must say, is very satisfying with what we do, and especially because we're affordable and our program delivers for our customers. And ultimately, for our distributors, they make residual income on all their sales. So month after month, obviously, you're making income on your customers. And what you have with GeoSearch is full support, a full back office, which I can show here quickly, sales tools from PowerPoints to marketing videos, result videos for customers. So tons of sales tools. We have a drip email system, which is like a sequence of emails that'll go out to the customer. You just put in your name as the distributor, so it's coming from you to the customer. And there's about a dozen emails that get sent out, so great tools. Excuse me, we have a webinar for customers. So webinar, they can go in every day to learn more about GeoSearch. So all these things to help our distributors sell the program. You get a personal web page and other offers, like a referral program where a customer, I mean, what's better when you get a referral from someone who's already using the services? And our referral program offers the customer a reduction in fees, their monthly costs. They go down if they give a referral. And if they give enough referrals, 4 referrals that come aboard as customers, they can get the program for free. And for instance, that's with the GeoSearch Power Pack 200. So they're paying $3.99 a month. If they refer somebody that comes aboard, they go down $100. So now they're at $2.99 a month. If they refer another, they go down $100. So they're at $1.99. And every referral, it's $100 off for 12 months. So if they gave you 4 referrals in a year, they're getting the services for free. And you have 4 new customers on top of that 1 customer. So you have 5 customers, and a year later, your original customer starts to pay the $3.99 again. So powerful things to help our distributors obviously sell. And that is the slideshow done. I want to jump into the web page. So pulled up on the screen. When you're a distributor with GeoSearch, you get a web page. So this one would be my web page. So you have a thumbnail picture so people know, who they're working with, and your email, phone number, and this contact section goes directly to your email. So if someone fills out something here, you're getting that notification. And of course, this page is going to show the different packages. This is a results video, fantastic video for them to watch. Our webinar that they can go in and learn about the program, and responsive design, some of the things we do. You might have a customer that doesn't even have a website yet. So you might be telling them, okay, get a website, come back to us, and we'll mobilize. Well, we help people build websites right out of the gate. So a new business, they can build a website as well. And we have super low costs starting at $500 for a fully responsive website. So you get a web page, and let's go to, okay, so this is the main website. And you can see we were running a special here in December for $199. So we'll come back out with this package this January before the end, where we'll have limited packages, which is crazy. In years and years, we never had a package like this. $399 has always been the cheapest. We did a Power Pack 80. So it's 80 pages, so for maybe 4 to 8 cities times 10 services or 20 services, so they have 80 total pages. That was crazy. December, we were so busy with that promotion. So we will bring that back time to time for the Power Pack 80. And the reason why we came out with that was to get some customers that were looking at the Power Pack 200 and still thinking, well, $399, I don't know, that's a lot for our small business, and they didn't get to experience GeoSearch. So to bump them off the fence, we offered the $199 package so that they get a taste of it, they see the traffic and the new business they're getting in, and then they can obviously graduate to a Power Pack 200 or 400 once they see the proof in the pudding. So the back office, so here, the customer can go and see how it works. We really just spell it out and show them, this is what we're doing. We're not making a secret here or anything like that. This is exactly what we're doing. So we walk them through it because we're not scared. We know our competitors, they don't have our technology. They can't do what we do. We've been doing this going on 9 years now. We've invested about $1.5 million into our technology, and that doesn't even include the talent, the time of top engineers. Our CTO worked with Google once upon a time at the very beginning, but it's just not the, corporate type guy. He's like freelance. He just loves to be free and creative, is one of the key people with our technology. So a lot of time, energy, and dollars went into our whole program, and we know it doesn't exist anywhere else. Nobody has what we do in the marketplace. And we even show a customer, they can go to SiteRx to get some free information on how to help their website. And then here, this login, this is where you would log in as a distributor. So I'm going to log in. It remembers my username, password. So there is a username, password to get to this stage. But here's our back office tools, just to kind of briefly go through it. So training, we have all this training. Looks crazy, I know, but we actually, when you come aboard, you get this in a piecemeal fashion. So like, hey, you should look at video 1 tonight. And then a couple days later, we want to bring your attention to video 5 and then video 9. So we kind of bring you to the most important things, right? And then this Dropbox is actually all our Monday night calls. We have some Wednesday night workshops and Saturday weekend update calls. They're all here. So we just didn't want to keep having tons of stuff here, so we stopped at training video number 20. But as I mentioned, Facebook marketing, we had one of our distributors who is fantastic at Facebook marketing, shows you how to do it. We have a Craigslist call showing you with video, so visually, how do you place a Craigslist ad? For some of you, it's automatic. For others, they're like, hey, I've never done it before. Walk me through it. So we do exactly that. So this training, Google Streak is another incredible free tool, depending, as long as you're not putting thousands of emails into it, but a free tool that you can see when people are opening up your emails when you're doing your prospecting. So if you see someone open up your email, you call them up 10 minutes later and they think like, oh, wow, what a coincidence. I was just looking at your email. But that's because you knew they were. That's why you called them. So all these great tools right here in our training. Some kickoff motivational, like 10, 15-minute calls that we've had that we saved here that were highlights. So you can always go here for that extra motivation. Marketing videos. So right here, this is actually showing a customer what we do. Here's a responsive website. Here is a Power Pack 200. Here is a testimonial of a customer who grew their business 100% or over 100% within their first year of using GeoSearch, meaning they doubled their business. And they weren't, $3,000 doubling to 6. These guys were doing hundreds of thousands and doubling it and still growing to this day. So marketing videos, sign up here. This is where you sign up your customers. So it's a two-step process, and it sounds like a lot. It's actually real simple. Step 1, you're putting who their name is, information, and step 2 is what cities, what keywords that they want, as simple as that. So it's very easy to sign up a customer. And downloads, we just have all the contracts you can have access to, PowerPoints, responsive website PowerPoints, so more tools for our distributors. And then last but not least, the webinar sign up, so that you can bring customers in here, and when you register them, we know that you're the one registering them. So if they ever happen to call back the corporate number, we know who is the one that brought that customer in, and it's their customer. You're 100%, you know, as your customer. So we just have a whole tracking system, and then you can pick which webinar you're bringing them into by this this time. It's like a map. So anywhere you click. So for instance, if I click here, it's registering them for the webinar. So just another tool that you can use. So the top 3 things you can do to improve your website: placement on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So we actually share free information and free tips, but of course, at the very end, we're talking about GeoSearch, something a customer can't do on their own. So ultimately, you know me, Carrie, I can go on and on, but in a nutshell, that's our program. We actually set up a special page for Instant App Wizard. So if anybody goes, tonight, tomorrow, or whenever you're ready, if you go to geosearchseo.com/IAW, all right, so our website and then IAW, you'll come to this page. And on this page, when you see the Instant App Wizard logo, you know you're in the right place. So you can, to learn a lot more about our technology, we have a webinar. It's right about an hour. So just to let you know, it's an hour, and then we have some testimonials at the end. So definitely worthwhile if you want to know more. And if you're ready to join GeoSearch, just to share with everybody, we have a special pricing for IAW. So it's a one-time fee when you join GeoSearch, and you get the username, password to the back office, everything I just showed. You get your marketing webpage, and you're on all our, are invited. You don't have to be on every call, but you can certainly come on every call and invited to do so. On our Monday night calls, we have Wednesday workshops from time to time, and a Saturday update call from time to time. But Monday night is every Monday night. We have our nationwide call. So, and the one-time fee, just to let you know, typically any distributor that would join, and we only take so many distributors aboard, by the way, as well. So the normal fee, one-time fee, is $397. The special Instant App Wizard fee is $249. So we're dropping it from $397 to $249. And it's a one-time fee. There's no monthly, there's no quarterly, there's no quotas. Once you're a GeoSearch distributor, you're a GeoSearch distributor, period. So
that's awesome.
That and this button right here is where you can click to join. But I would say watch the webinar. Definitely watch the webinar first. See what time is good for you. So there's three times to choose from when you click here. I'll just click it right now. There we go. So yeah, there's a time tomorrow. Oh no, sorry, that's tonight. We're Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. So there's a couple different times for people to choose from. Just be wary of the time zone when you're looking at the webinar. But that's it, Carrie. I'll open it to questions, or maybe we might want Mike Cahill.
Yeah, let me before we open it to questions, and I know I've got a lot of questions that's coming across here. So we're going to go back and I'm going to swing back through the questions. Let me find Mike. I saw him in here earlier. And see if we got
Mike. All right, looks like I'm unmuted. Let's do a sound check. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Michael Cahill. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome.
How's the weather in Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh, it's down in the 30s, but still comfortable.
Let me tell you something, baby. We had 70-degree weather here today. I was in a T-shirt and shorts. Life is good. Life is good. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows Michael Cahill. Michael Cahill is a power player in the Facebook group. He is probably the most well-studied marketer that I know. I get and follow and take a lot of stuff from Mike Cahill. A lot of people say, boy, Kerry, you sure are smart. I wasn't smart until I started following Michael Cahill, and because he is on top of everything that happens. And I also know that he is on top of SEO. And I also know that he's added that to his toolbox this year. So I'm going to let Mike talk about these services because he can speak your language, and he can share with you from his heart how he feels first off about GeoSearchSEO and Jamie and his team, but he can also share with you what it's doing to his business and how he's making that happen. So Mike, if you want to go ahead and just take the floor, buddy, you got all the time you need.
All right, well, I'll just give everybody a quick overview of how I got involved initially. As you probably know, I do a lot of research. I've got my antennas out, what's current, what's happening, and I don't remember how or who introduced me to GeoSearch, but I know it came through an email that there was a webinar. So I signed up, did the webinar, and it grabbed my attention immediately. And when I'm done, I'm going to ask Jamie if he wants to share the vision that he shared on that webinar. And it was one of the things that got my attention because they had a vision for where they wanted to take their company, what they wanted to do in terms of the number of distributorships, and what they wanted each distributor to do. And when I looked at that and listened to that and saw the numbers, it got my attention. And the reason is I'm not money hungry, but money buys you freedom. And I was doing SEO on my own, and anybody that is doing that knows how difficult it is to keep up with all of the changes that are going on. And if you've got multiple clients, a change comes along and you may have to go into multiple sites and make changes to keep up with that. And I was actually getting tired of doing that, and it's probably why I was looking for an alternative. And the minute that I saw the GeoSearch solution, I said, that's my answer, because that provides the SEO at a level greater than I can ever provide it, and I don't have to do all the manual work, and I can make residual income. And so it was really a win-win-win. A lot of the things that Carrie teaches us have residual income attached. And if you don't have residual income, you may be working for yourself, but you just have a job. And you're your own boss, but it's still a job. And when that residual income kicks in, then you start to buy time freedom. And with the time freedom, you can do whatever you want to do. You can go do ministry, you can go serve people, you can feed some people because you have extra income and extra time, whatever you want to do. But you have to have that income above and beyond what you can produce on an hourly basis. And so I got real excited about that. Once I got involved, one of the things that attracted me was exactly what we're doing tonight with IAW, which is the training, and the fact that every Monday night we're on the phone. And just like Instant App Wizard, you have people who are actually doing the business teaching it. So it's not somebody who develops something and now they're just making their money by selling it to other people. They're still actually in the trenches. So they're up to date on what's going on and how customers are thinking, and new advertising and marketing strategies. And so the combination of that is what really cemented me. And I didn't sign up immediately because I had some projects going on, but I told Jamie, I said, give me a couple of months and let me clear my plate. Got those projects done, came back and signed up, and then of course I took on a couple projects that I didn't anticipate at the beginning of 2015. So I really didn't crank it up with GeoSearch until probably late June, early July. And for 2016, about 70% of my time is going to be devoted to GeoSearch, just because the potential is huge and I don't want to miss out on it. So I'll stop there, and then Carrie or Jamie, if you want to ask me some specific questions, then I'll answer those.
Yeah, I'll chime in here, Mike, and thanks, kind words, and I just took some notes while you were speaking because I didn't know what you'd talk about. So yeah, you mentioned, we didn't say heavy lifting, that was my note here, but it lets you sell the SEO without having to be a coder, without having to, it's like IAW. If you can copy and paste, you can do this, right? Well, with our system, if you can talk to the customer and say, well, what cities do you want to be targeting and what keywords are you wanting to be targeting? If you can gather that information, well, that's the SEO they're going to target, and you let our deployments do the heavy lifting, right? You're bringing in customers, making the residual, and let deployment do the heavy lifting. The vision that I'll share is that Mike was talking about, that's also in our webinar, is we have a goal. We have a 4-year goal, but we're now at 3 years for this goal. A 4-year goal is to have 50,000 customers. And that is monumental, it is big, but we can't do alone. Our success depends on the success of our distributors. And we're looking for, the reason being is you want to have so many distributors that are aboard. And we're looking for 125. I think we're going to adjust that to 150, but we're looking for 125 distributors. We're at 95 right now, and that's active distributors. Active means, you know, they're bringing in at least a sale a month. You know, obviously, some distributors do a lot more, and some are part-time, some are full-time. It just depends, because you are your own boss. We're not calling you, you know, with a wake-up call at 6:30 a.m. saying get to work. No, you're your own boss. You have that freedom, and that's why you're making residual income. And how much time you put into it will be indicative of what your results are, of course. But we're here with our deployment teams. If you're bringing in 30 customers in a month, we'll have that deployed in no time, and our deployments are quick. If you bring in a customer on a Monday, it's usually deployed by Wednesday or Thursday, providing, you know, you have all the data, the cities, the keywords, all of that, FTP access, or if you don't have FTP, we have alternative solutions. So if you think about it, 125 distributors that are cranking up, and, you know, they don't do it overnight. They don't get, you know, 400 customers in a month, but over time, over the years, as you know, after year 1, year 2, year 3, and things are rolling, 125 distributors to deliver 50,000 customers is an average of about 400 customers per distributor. And so you know the number, that Power Pack 200, that equates to $100 monthly or $1,200 a year as your residual. So if you get up to 400 customers, well, that's 40,000 a month. That's no chump change. That's huge. Is anybody there yet? No, because we haven't run for 4 years. But you know, we're on our way. We're on the trajectory. We're not at 125 distributors, but also the reason why we don't want 1,000 or 2,000 distributors is because then our calls get too convoluted. There's too many people, and then we're spread thin, and then we can only help so many people and only help so much, right? So by having 125 distributors and 3 VPs and our deployment teams, we can give everybody the full attention that everybody needs and, more importantly, deserves, being a GeoSearch distributor. So that's the vision, 4 years, and we're on that trajectory and want to get to 50,000 customers, you know, with all our distributors.
Okay, I want to run through a few of these questions here. Mike Cahill, some of the people are asking, Mike, when did you get started, and where has this taken you with your app business?
I got started, like I say, in terms of actually getting out there and promoting the service, we'll say midsummer, so right at the end of June, 1st of July. And the longer that I do this, the less I want to do the manual work. I'm fully capable of doing that, but I really enjoy the sales process a lot more. I enjoy being out with people, sharing solutions, helping them solve their problems, but not doing all the work myself, because there's only so many hours in a day, and the more clients you bring on, if you're doing all the work, or even if you're farming a little bit out and managing it, you basically box yourself in so that you don't have time freedom. And I saw that starting to happen, and it's not what I wanted to do, and I did not want to build an agency that had a lot of people working for me, because I don't want employees, I don't want HR issues. So I was looking for solutions that solve those problems for me. And so last year I narrowed down to 3 services, which was mobile, SEO, and video. I'm still going to be doing some video this year, but I've actually brought reputation management into it. And I'm a reseller for a reputation management solution that's really neat. So basically, IAW, GeoSearch, and this reputation management are going to be the 3 things that I'm doing, because it's go out and sell it. It gets deployed, and I'm not spending all my time behind a computer screen managing people's data problems.
That's so important. You guys hear me talk about that all the time. You know, it's better to go out and have 100 customers making $100,000 a year than it is to have 1,000 customers making $100,000 a year. And you want the bang for the buck. And when you have quality product and quality services, especially when a company comes in and says, hey, I tell you what I want to do. You go out and bring the customers to us, and we're going to do everything for you. Give us a few words, a couple of cities, and we're going to put this thing together for you. And let me say something about their pricing. For those of you that checked in late, because I've had about 50 people say, Kerry, what was the difference in the pricing? 10 times is what I paid. I paid $3,900 a month for 10 cities that were wrapped around where I live. $3,900 a month. Those 10 cities only got one page, one splash page, okay? So if people out there, don't be worried that, oh my gosh, you know, $3.99. There are people paying 10 times that today, probably more than what their pricing is for 200. I mean, it's what Jamie and his team have put together as far as product, the ability to deploy. When he just said Monday to Wednesday, that just knocked me out. I swear I stood up. I had to clean my ears. That is rapid deployment. That's better. That's better than our own government. I mean, nobody can deploy that kind of technology that fast. So that tells you what kind of team you have supporting you. So I believe in this. Work smarter, not harder. Bring on the tools that will put you in the financial position where you want to be. And without question, SEO is that tool. Another big question here, what is the distributor's commission off of the retail sale of $3.99 or the $5.99 or whatever the cost is, Jamie?
So on all their packages, and if you see that on the screen, I pulled up that slide that has our different packages. So the Power Pack 200, 400, the XL and the double XL, you're making 25% residual income on that customer. So the $3.99 means 100 a month. The Power Pack 400 is 150. The Nationwide XL is 250, and the double XL is 375. And again, that's without the heavy lifting, back office of the deployment. They do all of that. You bring in a customer in, and then you're focusing your time on bringing in your next customer. And you know, the one you just brought in got deployed, they're growing, they're getting the exposure. We have, you know, because I know tonight there's only so much time, but we have ranking tools that you can share with the customer. Hey, go here, you can see real time where you're coming up in Google, you know, as Google indexes them and starts ranking them. So there's all these great tools that you have. But yeah, your commissions is 25% across the board on all the different packages.
And that's residual monthly, is that correct?
Monthly, yep, monthly and residual, correct.
You guys know how important that is to me. I preach that every single week. Let's see here. How do we make money with this? He just said that. No, you don't price it higher. You sell it at these prices and you get your residual commissions off of that. Someone asked about the website. Jamie, you mentioned you would build a website. The cost is $500. Do they make a commission off of that also, or do they mark that up and resell?
So it's up to the distributors. So what you can do here is you sell it for $500. You can up it to $800 or up it to $700 to put a margin in there for yourself. Or you might say, well, I want to get this customer aboard by doing the $500 website, and I'll make my money on the Power Pack, because we only do the websites providing the customer is doing a GeoSearch package. Otherwise, a website like that, you know, when you do responsive, new cutting edge, all the bells and whistles that Google's looking for these days, it's not $500. It's more like $1,500, $2,000. You might find someone on Craigslist for $1,000 to do it. We're $500 with cutting edge technology. It's SEO'd as well. Plus you get a GeoSearch package. So $500, you can mark it up. I'll mention one other thing. On all our packages, so going back to, if you're looking at the screen, the 4 different packages, there is a deployment fee of $500. However, you can waive it. So it's a wild card. Like we put the cards in your hand to decide as a distributor, do I want to waive it to get this customer aboard? Do I want to charge it? Now, a lot of heavy lifting happens right at the beginning. So when you waive it, it's an investment on our part as well, because we trust that our distributor is bringing in a sale that, yeah, you know, if I charge the deployment, I might not get this customer. I've been working on them for 2 months, so I'm gonna call them up and say, we have a special this month. I'm waiving the deployment. You save $500. You just start at $399 a month, period. So they get the customer aboard. It's an investment on our part too. But if you do bill the deployment, you actually keep 50% of that. So for our great sales guys, and I think Michael Cahill, you've always charged the deployment. You're good at that. You automatically keep 50% of that. And we have specials, like we have leads where you can actually get leads, and we double it. So the leads is from a third-party source. It's not from us, that we sourced, we found, we used ourselves, and once we saw that it's a good source of you know, to get customers, then we offer it to our distributors. So if someone takes their $250 from the deployment fee, we'll match it with what would have been our deployment side of things for $250, and we basically double up how many leads you get. So there's different things we do, but you can choose to waive the deployment or charge it, and you keep 50% of that, and then off the monthly fees, you're making 25% across the board. And on the responsive websites, 500 is the bare bones, but if you want to mark it up, you're welcome to market that up as well.
Okay. Who handles the billing and who collects the monthly payments?
We do. So we put them just like a, you know, your cell phone bill or cable bill. It's set up check by phone, so it's set up on auto pay, and presto, customer pays, and we have our payroll on the 1st and the 15th of the month. So if your customer came aboard on the 25th, you would be paid on the 1st. If the customer came aboard on the 10th, you'd be paid on the 15th. So payroll twice a month.
Okay. And Mylan's asking about the web apps. This isn't the SEO for the web apps. This is SEO specifically for their website. If they don't have a website, they can build them a website, and they're SEOing the business, building all these multiple pages to go out. And trust me, you don't realize how important it is when you get all this linkage going. Okay, link juice is what I call it. When you got all this link juice going in these cities back and forth, and when these guys go in and they do what they do, and trust me, Mike, I know exactly what Mike's saying. I've been the SEO route, and I said to heck with it too, because it's too much work. It was too time consuming. And so it's very important to know that what these guys are doing will literally change your clients' businesses forever. And let me throw something in here. He just talked about leads, okay? Those leads are, for you, doubly important, because now you're walking into somewhere whose website, and we all know how these customers' websites are. They're not real good. They're not even on page 47,000 of Google, okay? You can bring them a SEO package. You can also bring them in a mobile package. You can bring them in the digital business card. You can bring them in and put them on the coupon apps program. I mean, you've got the total tool bag to walk in with now and literally change this business's marketing strategies forever, absolutely forever. Mylan is asking, okay, if we want to do this for a business they own, is there an IAW special deal if they came in and bought one of your packages for them specifically?
Okay, good question. So you become a distributor, and if a distributor, as a GeoSearch distributor, if you do a deployment for your own business, let's say you had a roofing business, you could say, I'm going to do a deployment for myself, and your special price would be minus commissions, because you're not going to pay charge yourself full price and then get paid commissions on your own deal. So you obviously get a reduced price, which is minus the commissions for your own deployment. And we do have some distributors that do that. Now, sometimes someone says, hey, should I, I'll do this on my own web page or my own website. And what we always tell them is this: look, people, when it comes to SEO is contacting the customer. People aren't going to Google saying, hey, I want to SEO. because then they're looking around, they're looking at a whole bunch of different things, and sometimes they just don't know what they're looking for. They just know they want to get up in the search engines. So we have optimized our website for local SEO times 1,300 cities where we're coming up to the top. Any of those leads go to the distributor that's closest to it, but we say to our distributors, you don't need to optimize your website because the amount of traffic, you know, it's SEO, right? And you're on Google, and someone who's looking for SEO, you're competing against all these guys locally. They're doing, you know, optimizing as well. It's like you're trying to sell ice cubes in the Arctic, right? The way you get your customers is by contacting them, is by going on the Craigslist, going to the meetups, the BNI groups, all the different ways that we talk about as far as pitching and getting yourself out there. Whether you're doing the Instant App Wizard or you're selling GeoSearch, it's the same thing. We're contacting the same people. That's why the two products go hand in hand. But if you do want to SEO a business that offers a product or a service, your price would be the wholesale price, right? The price you would get minus the commissions, of course.
Let's see here. They're flying by here. Could you talk a little bit about the leads program? They're wanting to know just a little bit more about the leads program.
Yes. So we have leads that the leads are the initial price on these leads is crazy, and we don't buy them for this. It's $25 for the lead that you get within 24 hours. So the way this company, the third-party service, they have, you know, different ways, websites that people are looking to increase their marketing for their website. So you get the business, the person's first name, last name, address, phone number, email, everything, right? So we wait, and this company sells it to one person will get the ripe brand new lead within 24 hours. Then after that, within the first week, they might sell it to two others for about $10. We get this lead 3 weeks, 4 weeks later for $1, right? And then what we do is when you buy the leads, we see that you're buying 100 leads, we'll double it. So we'll invest money into it as well to double the leads to help get you more exposure, because we're kind of vested into it too. We're like, hey, if you're putting some dollars down, or we have promotions sometimes that you can say, hey, this month's commissions on that customer, I want to convert it into leads. So instead of getting 100 leads, you get 200 leads. And then you contact them, and it's real simple. I'll show you on our website right here. So this is just on the home page, right? This is our email drip, and they'll get email 1, email 2, email 3. So they'll get all these emails. So you can call the customer, leave a message, but you know, call them the next day. But if you don't get them on the phone, you go here, and this is this is with constant contact. So instead of you going to get a constant contact at $249 a month, we already have a large account with them, and you can put in the customer's email, first name. You don't have to do last name, company, website, and then so this should already remember my information. So your information here, right? And then when you submit this, so it's real quick. If you
your screen's not up there, Jamie. Whatever you're doing.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Do you see it now?
That's it. There it is, right there.
There we go. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. So it was stuck on the other screen, even though I was on this one. So you could see here in our back office. So, you know, customers don't go here. This is just for distributors with the password and login. Right here, the email drip, these are the emails that go out to that customer. So if, you know, whether you purchase leads or you're prospecting and there's 20 people that day that you want to enter into the system, you just enter them here. You click that. This goes into constant contact, right? So it's a reputable, great system. So you don't have to learn the constant contact. You don't have to pay the $250 a month or $3,000 a year to have constant contact. And you know, we have a lot of emails in here, so our monthly is higher than that. But you can enter customer information here, your information here. So there's mine, you know, with the autofill. And when you submit this information you fill out at the bottom is the information that's going to be on the email to that customer. So when you sign them up, at the bottom of each email, it'll say, you know, John Jackson. It'll have your information, your phone number, so that they can contact you directly. And if they happen to reply and ask a question, we see the email string. We see who entered it and who sent it, so we'll just forward it directly to the distributor if they happen to reply. Since Constant Contact can only use one email, it's coming back to our general, but it gets popped back to the distributor because we see it in the email, if that makes sense. So you have this, and then while you're continuing to prospect, this customer you just entered in here is getting 12 emails plus future blast emails, like once a month or so. We tread lightly with our lists that will send them an email. So you might have put someone in here in January, and then this coming June is when they're finally thinking about SEO. Boom, they get an email from the system. They're like, oh yeah, I got to call John Jackson. I'm ready to commit to this thing. And then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that I called that guy. But if you were just making phone calls, come around June, that guy's not going to have, he's not going to remember. But because he's in the email drip and getting new blast emails from time to time, we just keep ringing the bell. We keep reminding him that you're there, and then he's ready to commit. Because in sales, a lot of it has to do, yeah, you're a great salesperson and you're answering a need for the customer, but also a lot of it has to do with timing. And maybe January is not their timing. It might be May, it might be February, but at least this Constant Contact system here, that you can just plug in as many customers as you want as you're prospecting, it's kind of like your best paid employee, because it's free, and they keep contacting the customer. And the customer, if you're calling them at 9 a.m., 10 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they're busy. Well, guess what? An email, they might read it at 10 o'clock at night when they finally, can wind down, and they'll say, hey, I like this. Okay, John Jackson, yeah, I remember he called me a month or two ago. I'm ready to do this now. And we have different emails that show them a results video, shows them another customer, which is so powerful. When they see someone else, they see a testimonial, not just written, but in a video, and someone saying how this has really changed their business in the course of their growth. That's compelling. And they're calling you back. They want to know more. They want to know how they can do this for their business. So we have these great tools for you.
Okay, let's see here. Do you have an SEO program for mobile apps? No, this isn't an SEO program for your mobile apps. This is an SEO program specifically for Google and their websites. Okay, let's see here. Does this work well for real estate?
Yeah, real estate. There's some, excuse me, some behemoths out there like Zillow, Redfin, HomeSeeker, that have databases and websites that have all zip codes and city names. So whenever we have a realtor customer and we're battling against these monsters, we say to them that the strategy you go for is the community names, not the city names, because those guys have it on lockdown because of their databases, and they have all these houses for sale, and that's powerful for Google. And it's the only industry within all the industries that we target for cities, it's the only one that we suggest go after community names, because the vast majority of people usually move within a 5-mile radius because they had their eye on a specific community, like Silver Creek, which is not a city. Let's say it's in Walnut Grove, California, but that community is called Silver Creek. So we target the communities, the community names, with keywords like first-time home buyer or home relocation, or the different realtor keywords, and we target the community names. So that's what we do there. But that works tremendously for realtors.
Mike Cahill, you still available, buddy?
I'm still here.
Okay, I'm gonna send some of these questions to Mike because he's out selling this, and they're very important questions, and I understand what they're asking. It says, so the billing will be coming from GeoSearchSEO. So how do they explain that they will be handling their SEO, but they're getting charges from GeoSearchSEO and not our company? How do you handle that, Mike?
If someone were to go on my website and look at it, this is exactly how I say it, that we have gone out and found the best in the industry, and we have partnered with them. And from that point on, it's never been an issue. Because it is a bank draft, once it's set up, it just comes out. And if it's even a small, decent-sized company, it's only the accounting people that are looking at that anyway, and they don't really care. But one of my clients manufactures skylights, and I deal directly with the owner and 2 other people, and it wasn't an issue with them. I explained. In fact, Jamie got on a call with me with them once I had sold the service because their new marketing person was a little skeptical. She's not real technically minded, and some of the things I was explaining, she wasn't grasping. And so she didn't know if I knew what I was talking about. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, let me set up a call with Jamie, and then you can hear it from one of the founders of the company. And as soon as we did that call, she was fine. So it's just never been an issue. Most companies that are out there today do partnerships, do joint ventures. They're not doing everything themselves. And so just explain up front, I'm partnered with these people, and I'm going to manage your day-to-day customer relationship. They're handling the technology piece, and it just hasn't been an issue. If you have somebody that starts really pushing back on that, they're going to be a problem customer anyway, and you're probably better off
walking away. And let me liken it to this. You walk into a tire store. They sell Michelin. They sell Goodyear. They sell this. They sell XYZ. But when you get those tires put on your car, it says John's Tire Service. It doesn't say Goodyear or Michelin or anything else. People understand that companies partner together. They go out and they find other people. That's what keeps us in business today. So and I don't see that as a big issue either. And trust me, it's easier to walk away from a problem client up front than it is to get involved, and it's a headache forever. Jamie, what happens if they cancel? Does that go through your system? How does that take place?
Yeah, that's the beauty. We earn our customer month after month. So when we first deploy, our agreements are for 6 months because we want them to see it grow. You don't want a customer to come aboard and say, yeah, within 30 days you're killing it. No, it's you got to let it grow, right? It's like cooking that cake. If it says 90 minutes, you don't pull it out after 15 minutes. So we just want the customer to commit to at least 6 months, and then after that they're month to month. So we have to earn our keep. And if they cancel, they can. If you're month to month, it's just like renting a place month to month. You put in your okay, I'm canceling this month, and then they finish that current cycle, and then we disconnect our pages. But that's the thing with SEO. There's some SEOs that go on the customer's website, on that 10-page website and do all the SEO, which is really nowhere near as effective as what we do, but still, that's what they do. And if they're kicked to the curb, if they're terminated, well, that's on the customer's website. They just lock them out from the username password into FTP access to the back of the website. With us, a customer leaves, we disconnect our pages. And believe me, in our time and having thousands of customers come aboard, we've had customers like we don't have 100% retention rate. Okay, we're rate about 86%, and once a customer is aboard after a year, they're going to be aboard for years and years because they just know this is fantastic. We've had customers after 6 months, 7 months. They're looking to cut expenses, and they're like, I don't know, yeah, I'm not even sure if this is working. Where they have canceled with us, and 2 months later they're right back aboard because as soon as they cancel, they don't realize, how come my phones aren't ringing? How come I dropped to the floorboards? I'm not on Google anymore. Because one of the side effects of all our pages, it's almost like it's creating backlinks or a volume, like a foundation for the entire website, so it helps their core pages automatically. We've had customers say, for 10 years, I've never come up for this keyword before, and now I'm coming up, but it's my core page. It's not part of the 200 pages you guys built. Why is that? And it's because all our pages are pointing back into the core site, which is lifting it up, which is giving it more, juice, for lack of a better term. It's giving it more power. So we've had customers that are just flabbergasted, can't believe it. They say, I've done everything. I've worked with every SEO, and that holy grail, like a major keyword, I've never been up for that. But all our pages, so not only are our pages performing, but we help the core site. But if a customer cancels, our pages are gone. So when Google comes back to crawl and those pages aren't there anymore, they fall off the search engines. So that's important for you as a distributor and for us as a company. Our customers can't get our technology and then fire us and keep the great results. The results, unfortunately, will disappear.
Okay.
Hey, let me jump in real quick on that. Carrie, I sent you and Woodrow the screenshot. I know you saw it, but the skylight manufacturer, between the GeoSearch pages and the pages that I built for them, did a screenshot on the keywords deck mount skylight. And we had the top 5 spots on page 1 of Google. And of course I drew the boxes around those and kind of highlighted it. And I do that for my clients periodically just to say, look, hey, look at this. And this client was spending about $1,000 a month on AdWords and not really getting very much bang for his buck. And part of my initial discussion with him was, once this is deployed and we're getting ranking, you can keep that if you want, or you can put that $1,000 back in your pocket, which is what he is opting to do. He's already reduced his budget. I have another client who owns a video studio here in Atlanta, and he has done the same thing. He has basically pulled his AdWords completely based on his GeoSearch results.
That's awesome. Here's a question. I'm going to preface this question before I send it over to Mike. How long does it take a salesperson to get enough knowledge to make first sales? They've got training. How long does it take you to get off your butt and go in there and sit down and watch the videos and soak it in your brain so you understand? And with that said, Mike, how long did it take? And I know exactly what you did without even asking you. How long did it take? How long did it take you to study this and bring it on board?
Here's the beauty of it. Since I was already doing SEO, obviously I grabbed the concepts very quickly. But for someone who is not already doing SEO, it's perfect because you don't need to know very much SEO to sell it. You just need to know the basic concepts of a page needs to be structured properly. It needs to have good quality content. And Jamie, I don't think you talked much about the content, so you may want to come back around to that. But when you can talk to them about dropping their AdWords campaign, and most people do not have well-run campaigns, so they're spending a lot of money and not getting results from it. When you talk to them about being able to drop that completely in the next 5 to 6 months, you've got their attention. And as with anything, we've talked about this on our Wednesday night calls a lot lately, don't talk features, talk benefits. So one of your benefits is, I know of a skylight guy who's got 5 spots on page 1 for just one of his keywords, and that's not the only one. That was just the one that I looked at and made the screenshot of. But there's multiple keywords that we did that we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 spots on page 1. And I guarantee you, when I go to a website and somebody has the top 4 or 5 spots, I'm pretty sure that's who I want to work with, because they're all over the place. And we all know that if somebody's got that many spots on page 1, they're getting probably 90% of the clicks. And so they're getting the business and their competitors are not. I'm getting ready to share something in the Facebook group while we're on the call, and I make an analogy about a war for customers and what you need to do as a business owner to win that war. So you can learn to sell this very quickly and very easily. It is going to take some study time, but anything worth doing is worth studying. But don't feel like you have to become an SEO person, because you do not. You need to become a benefits person.
And they've got all the training right there for you guys. I mean, the training is inside the site, and they do training continuously, so you're never going to be left alone. That's why I love Jamie and this company so much. We follow the same mode of operandi, where teaching someone is the most important thing you can do, and that's what makes you successful. And they have the same motto. You know, they want you to be successful, just like we do. Go ahead, Jamie. I heard you fixing to speak there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I pulled up on my screen, just confirm you see the blue bars at the top. It says GeoSearch SEO and Google rankings. If you have that on the
yes,
on the screen.
That, buddy. Yep.
Okay, so Mike, you were mentioning SIG Skylights, right? One of
Yes.
your customers. So here is their website, and this is the ranking tool. So I think this is the screenshot you must have sent over. So you mentioned deck-mounted skylights. So just so everybody knows, this is so that the customer doesn't have to go to Google and type in the keyword every single time. You click this link, and it automatically fills a Google query or a Google search bar. So you'll see what I mean here by me clicking it, and it's searching Google. And I do have a lot of stuff open on my screen, that's why it takes time. But look at this. So in Atlanta, Georgia, so here we are in Google for deck-mounted skylights, 6 skylights, number 1, number 2, number 3. They're taking up the top 3 spots. So before we did this, these other guys, like their competitors, right? Look at Home Advisors there, which is pretty big, a skylight specialist. These guys were happy. They were at the top. And then when we came along, we dominated. You even have Yelp a little lower down. So we're at the top. Let's
Hey,
just
Jamie, scroll down a little more. See that southeastern insulated glass?
let me go back. I closed the window, so let me query it again. Okay, here we go. Scroll down.
Southeastern insulated glass, that is also SIG. And I saw up here somewhere Fowler Homes, which is about spot number 5. That's actually a SIG customer who mentioned SIG on their website talking about skylights.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. So they're here. They're here in the Yelp. The Yelp result is them. And then our pages that we built them are number 1, number 2, and here they are number 3. Powerful. But that's just one of the queries, right? If we go, you know, look at all. I'm scrolling. Here's all the cities, and here's all the pages we built for them, right? So huge. Let me just take another one off the list here. See where they're coming up. Here they are. Oh wow. Okay, when you said the top 5, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the AdWords on the side. People don't click here. 75% of people, I think it's now 80%. That 75 number was about a year ago. It keeps going towards. People don't click here because they know, you know, anybody can be here. They're paying to be here. Here, they're here because of their own merit, because they're the most relevant thing, and Google said, hey, you're searching for deck-mounted skylights, we're going to pop you here. So just looking through anywhere here on our different pages that we built for the customer, you can just see how they're dominating.
That's awesome.
Like skylights. Yeah, number 1, number 2, and what did that was in Jacksonville for deck-mounted flat roof skylights, because they're not all bubbles. So anything that a customer will search, they're going to be coming up. So, I mean, we're in this Columbus, another city. I'm just clicking random ones. There you are, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah, he's dominating. That's why he doesn't need to be here anymore, because he's just...
And you notice he's not over there anymore, and he used to be.
Yeah.
He just cut his budget out.
Unbelievable.
So I basically put $700 a month in his pocket. Well, we'll say $600 a month in his pocket with GeoSearch, because he stopped paying $1,000 to AdWords.
Jamie, are the sites that you're building, they're responsive? Is that correct? The pages you're building, are they responsive? That's about 50 questions coming across.
That's a good question. If the customer's site is responsive, the pages we add to their website, so if they're a 10-page and they did Power Pack 200, now it's at 210, our 200 pages will be the same as their 10. If their website's responsive, our pages are responsive. If their website is not responsive, our pages will not be responsive.
Okay.
So the core site has to be responsive in order for our pages to be responsive.
And something I think you kind of got a misnomer. They're SEOing a business. They're not necessarily SEOing a mobile app, or they're SEOing a business to drive them up into the search engines through the technology that they're using, building all of these sites. The sites that are coming up are not necessarily their website. The sites that are coming up are the 200 or plus pages that these guys are building, which is SEO'd properly to put them in that place. So they're not going in, he kind of mentioned that probably 3 or 4 times. They don't go in and touch their site. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is to build these sites for them, which are SEO'd properly to drive them up in the search engine. I know several people said, well, if they can do that, why can't they do SEO our apps? They're not SEOing their website. They're not SEOing a mobile app. They're SEOing a business through all of these sites that they're building, which drives them up in the search engine, which brings them business. And that's what SEO pages like he's building does. Let's see here. The pricing for tonight. I can tell you this. I understand how important this is, and I haven't asked Jamie, but I'm going to put myself out on the line. I will fight him every week to keep the pricing right where it is for our people so that you can get on board and you can go out and put this in your tool bag and start making sales. Because this is important to me. And the reason it's important to me is because it will help you not only sell an SEO package, but it will help you sell mobile web apps. And you can go out and double and triple your money, your income every single month with putting all these packages in one thing. So how long is it going to be up there? I can't promise you anything, but I will fly to California if I have to and sit down and buy him a lobster dinner to keep it right where it's at.
It'll be up there for 10 more minutes.
10 minutes. You better hurry.
I'm teasing. No, we're not saying this is up, tonight, commit now. No, it's not any of those things. I understand that not all your people come on this call. They might watch the recording tomorrow, this weekend, next week. Right now, there's no cutoff to this. However, there is as far as the price is concerned. However, as mentioned earlier, and Michael asked me what's kind of like the vision. We're only taking aboard so many distributors. So when we get full, if you think about it, in respect for our distributors that are aboard, we'd rather be there training our guys properly. So let's say a dozen people come aboard. I'd rather be spending with our VPs, Jesse and Kyle, training people properly, getting on those calls. Like Michael mentioned, he had a customer, he needed help. I jumped on that call with him. If we had 50 people come aboard in short time, I couldn't jump on a call like that. I couldn't help someone close a sale. So sometimes having too many people aboard, you think that's going to be good for the company, but actually it isn't because you can't give the time and the focus. So the price is the $249. And, well, Mike, you can share with everybody what you paid. It would have been $397 because we didn't have that price before.
Yes, it was $400. Yeah,
$400, $397. So, and right now you can join for $249 just because that's, when Kerry and I spoke, he said, I really want a special price for my guys. And Kerry's good.
That was a 2.5-hour conversation, trust me.
Kerry's good. So I said, look, this is what we'll do. And, you guys have a special rate. So okay. There you have it.
Do we choose the keywords for our customers, or does GeoSearch choose the keywords for our customers?
Customer will choose keywords, right? And you can, as you get trained, from your first customer to your 5th to your 10th customer, you'll start to know what keywords to go for. Because sometimes they just want to go for one keyword or two, but they don't realize that URL string, right, or the title. Google's not, again, we're not telling Google, hey, here's our meta tag keywords. Google's going to choose what you're optimized for, right? Their system, their bots will choose. So you can have a couple keywords and a longer keyword phrase that as time goes, right off the bat, you'll come up for that long keyword phrase. But as time goes, you'll come up for certain words, maybe 2 words, a combination of different words within your title and your description and in your content. You can come up for those holy grail keywords as time goes, as you start getting tenure, as you start getting, you're constantly up there and Google says, hey, these guys, they're brand new here, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. That's why it keeps growing. And with the content, right, there's paragraphs of content, you can come up for so much more than just the title. If it's a garage door company and you're putting brand names of garage door openers, you can start coming up for some of those brand names or different keywords that you have within your content, not in the title. So the customer might put in some crazy choices, but our deployment will clean it up. We call it sanitizing your keywords. So we take an active role now in the keywords, and we let the distributor know, here's the keywords, we've cleaned it up for the customer because they'll get better results. This is in the best interest of the customer. We'll share that with the distributor who can tell the customer. And the customer says, oh, okay, no problem, because it is in their best interest. But it all starts with the submission of the customer. Hey, here's a customer, here's their cities. We're not going to change the cities. A city's a city, but we will look at their keywords and we'll sanitize it for them. And then you let the customer know, hey, 8 of these keywords, golden. These other ones, we've enhanced them. We added another word or two, which means you can come up for more. Okay. So deployment does take an active role in making sure the submission is airtight and great for the customer. Yet the distributor and the customer will choose the keywords, and as you start to learn and see, I see the pattern, I see why we choose these keyword phrases, you'll be able to nip it in the bud when the customer's submitting those keywords, and you're going to say, hey, I think these will be better, and you can just submit a cleaner list from the get-go.
Okay. Let's see here. We're starting to get to the bottom finally. Can you explain the pages you are creating? Are they on a PBN you own?
So, okay, that is a great question, because the pages we build feed into the customer's website via HT access. So that means our pages become part of the customer's website. Best way to explain that, eBay. eBay is huge, right? It's always ebay.com / and then whatever category and whatever product you're looking at. But this isn't all on one server. This is on multiple servers, backup servers, because it's just so big and vast, right? So same thing with us. Customer has their hosting somewhere. The pages we build and our technology is on our server, but it feeds their website through HT access. So if that makes sense, any coder would know that, but I know I'm talking coding language, but HT access, we do it there, and it's through something called curl. So it becomes an integral part of their website. But if they cancel, our pages turn off because it's not sitting on their server in their FTP access, it's sitting on ours. But they work together. So it is an integral part of the customer website ultimately.
And that's what somebody says. So they are basically leasing the pages from you since you can disconnect them. Is that how that is explained, Mike or Jamie? Yep,
that's right. I mean, just like anything, if they're getting DirecTV and they stop paying, that wire that's delivering all that great TV shows and content, if they don't pay their bill, it's disconnected. So same thing. Our pages are gone if they don't pay.
Let's see here. Mike, they ask if you mind sharing your sales page in the group, in the Facebook group. I'm sure he doesn't. He probably hopes that some of you just want to get your services.
Yes, I'll share that.
Okay. Then we've got, do they have a proper script to explain how this SEO is different from traditional SEO? It sounds then like the whole idea of content is irrelevant. Most will preach that you want to continually create content to help with your SEO. If all I have to do is buy your service, then consistent content creation sounds unnecessary.
Aha, content is key. Content's king is what we say. So in these deployments, and that's one thing Mike said, hey, you didn't touch upon that. So the customer, when they come aboard Power Pack 200, we need 10 paragraphs of content. So we have a segue one, which is the first paragraph that's going to have their keywords in it, and then we need 10 paragraphs that are just talking from naturally, from the heart about the business, kind of like the who, what, when, where, why of the business, right? Customer can provide that, which some do, or we can write it for them from an SEO writer, right, specialist, and it's a one-time fee if we're writing the SEO for them. It's $300, and that is commissionable. You make your 25% on that. So the customer, and lots of them choose to do it because they say, you know what, you guys write it for me. So we look at their website, we look at their competitors that are performing well, we see what they wrote, and then we rewrite new content. You can't like copy paste. You can't use a sentence from the existing website or somewhere else. It has to be new, unique content. Then our paragraphs. Here's the crazy part. This is just one of the many pieces of our technology. The 10 paragraphs, we only have 3 that show at any time on the customer's website. But when you, let's see if I can do an example here. Yeah, from this. So here is content on SIG skylights, right? So if you look at that, when I refresh it, right? When I refresh, did you notice they changed? The paragraphs change except for the segue. The first one stays the same. They change. I'm going to refresh it again. They changed again. So what happens is those paragraphs, paragraphs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when Google comes and crawls, it might be paragraph 3, 6, 8. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, Google comes and crawls again, and then it might be paragraph 10, 7, 1. It changes. And when Google sees this change, they say, okay, the website's not stagnant. It's not just sitting there. It's fresh. It's keeping it fresh. Now, we've been doing this 9 years. 100% white hat, 100% what Google is looking for as far as we're feeding Google great calories, right? And Google eats this, right? If you give them empty calories, that doesn't last long, and then you won't stay up there on page 1. But if you're giving them great content, perfectly designed pages as far as the title, the URL string, the description, and fantastic content that keeps fresh, then you don't have to do the blog, because people blog, right? And a lot of the time, when they're blogging, they don't realize they can be inhibiting their website because there's a certain way to do it. Then you can't just take an article, copy and paste, because now, boom, you get nailed for duplicate content. And whoever put the content out first gets the thumbs up for it. Whoever copies and pastes it, you can be penalized for that. So you got to be careful. So our stuff is always unique content. Customer can provide it, and we tell them we need 10 paragraphs. If they do a Power Pack, the Excel, the initial Excel, we need 30 paragraphs. If they want us to do it, it's the 2 Excel packages. It's $400, and if they do it, well, they just provide it and they save $400. But 30 paragraphs, believe me, every customer says, here's $400, you guys go write that, because that's tons of work to do. And again, it's done by a specialist, an SEO writer that's staffed with GeoSearch. So that's answers your question. You don't need to blog anymore because our technology keeps the pages constantly fresh every time Google comes and does a recrawl.
Okay,
go ahead. Hey, let me throw this on the content. My deployments are split 50-50. GeoSearch has written the content for half of them, and I've written the content for the other half, working with the client, but I probably wrote 99% of that content, and they paid me to do that. So for anybody that gets on board and they can have the ability to write, then you could put that $300 in your pocket.
Bingo, exactly.
And I can't, so I would have to hire somebody. Is there a first page guarantee?
So we get that question from time to time, not from customers, from distributors. Customers don't ask for that. But here's what we say. It's kind of like you go to the car dealership and this car gets 35 miles a gallon, and then you ask them, well, is there a guarantee it's going to do that? And the guy is going to look at you and say, well, no, it just does it. You put the gas in, you're going to get 35. You might get 25 if you're pedal to the metal, and you could get 50 if you're coasting downhill. But yeah, this is what you get. So same thing with us. We don't guarantee, because we're delivering them so much, right? 200 pages. We can't guarantee every single page is going to get to page 1. A customer could be in Los Angeles and say, I want to come up to page 1 for attorney, and I want a guarantee. Well, wait a minute, that's a holy grail keyword. There could be someone who's already paying 10 grand a month, a big firm, to come up to the top of the search engines. That's going to be hard to compete with. So we need to be Los Angeles, asbestos exposure attorney, right? You can come up for attorney eventually. Asbestos you can come up for, asbestos attorney, but just coming up for Los Angeles attorney or Los Angeles lawyer, you can't guarantee that. But we deliver so much, the 200 pages with the keyword we're targeting, plus the content. Eventually they can be coming up for 10, 12 keywords from each page. So they can be coming up for 2,400 different possible terms. So we just deliver. We don't guarantee, or we could say to a customer, yeah, we'll guarantee it, and it's $2 grand a month, because that's what anybody would charge for a full-fledged guarantee. We just do it. if you look at Sig Skylight, there's no guarantee in our agreement. We just get it done. We just do it. Just like that car that gets 35 miles a gallon, you gas it up and you say, hell, you know what? Fancy that. They were right. I actually got 36 miles a gallon. So we just do. We just deliver.
Is this good for outside the U.S.? Well, I've got a fellow from Australia that's on and is asking.
Yes. Yep. Australia, UK, Canada, English. I mean, we haven't gone into foreign language marketplaces, but as long as it's English characters, yeah, no problem.
So everywhere Instant App Wizard is, you can do it, fellows and ladies.
Yes.
If the customer writes the content, then how do you make sure the content is keyword rich and has the proper keywords and the right percentage of keywords?
Aha. We don't want it to be keyword rich. We want them just to speak naturally. If you see, Mr. Cuts from Google, that's exactly what they profess is anytime you're doing content, just speak naturally about your product. Don't force the issue. Don't try to jam keywords in there. Keyword density has to be in the 1 to 1.6% range, for instance. It's too difficult for a customer to figure out. So that's why our segue text and the way we structure everything else dials it in. So when content's written by the customer, we don't want them to purposely try to, jam it with keywords. Just they got to speak naturally.
Okay, if someone has a horrible reputation, can purchasing one of your packs help push Yelp off of page 1?
We already have that, believe me. And we got people they want to get pages off of page 1. So we can't remove content on Google, right? You can't say, hey, see that? I want it removed. There is ways to do that. You can contact whoever the publisher is and you just talk to them. There's ways to do that. We've done that for customers before. But yes, getting results. If you saw Sig Skylights, when they took over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means they pushed 5 people off of page 1. So it is the start of a strategy to come up to the top. Remember, we were talking about people don't go to page 2 or 3. So it's not difficult to optimize for someone's name. There's different things you can do, but Google will typically give you, up to 3 results on the page from one particular URL. So you'd have to have a strategy where you do a couple URLs optimized for the person's name or what people are searching that person's attached to push the negative publicity and links off of page 1.
Very good. Any more questions real quick while we got Jay? We've been an hour and 37 minutes of rocking and rolling of solid questions going on. Kerry Loss, yes, Keith, he does hit Australia. Yes, sir. I saw you drop offline. I was hoping you saw that before you did. What is the package for website deployment and Power Pack 200? I believe it was $399. Is that correct?
It is, yeah.
$399 for the Power Pack 200. Absolutely. No, they do not do it in Spanish. Only English-speaking languages.
I mean, we could have actually, I'll just correct that. So if it's a .com here in the U.S. and they have some Spanish pages, we can do that. We don't have a content writer that will write in Spanish, so the customer does have to supply the content, but we can do that.
Okay. And that's probably pretty prevalent in the States. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I had a lot of the questions were the same.
Kerry, I'll just share this with you.
Okay.
A ton of questions that people haven't even thought of. That page that we created specifically for IAW reps is the GeoSearch. I got it on the screen, just /IAW. They can see the webinar by going to that page. So just register for the webinar, time that's good for you. Join us on that, and we're just talking about exactly how the technology works. Another great thing to do if someone doesn't have time, during this week and you got to wait till the weekend, if you want to see about a 15-minute video, go to our homepage. I'll pull it up. Go to the homepage and just scroll to the bottom. You're going to see, let me just do this, go to GeoSearch. Scroll to the bottom, the video at the very bottom right here, click that. That's a testimonial video with a customer. We walk through exactly what we do, the pages, we show the results, it's really all-encompassing, showing what GeoSearch does from a customer standpoint. So it's great to see that, and the webinar is from a distributor standpoint, you know, what you make, how it works, what you do.
Is the home page button on the top of those websites, does that go to their actual website, or is that the home page of the actual site you built?
So what do you mean, on a distributor page?
No, on the website, the SIG website you were showing a while ago.
Yeah.
It's got buttons across the top. Is that for that specific website that you built, or does that actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is their template. We didn't build this. It's their website. This is their template, which has all their buttons that goes to all these different spots on their site. This is the page that Google crawled, that Google's putting in the search engine results, because Google is not putting a website per se at the top of the search engines. It's putting a page within that website that's targeting those terms.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, our 200 pages act like 200 billboards where,
right.
Yeah, if someone searches, that page is what's displayed in the Google search engine results.
So let me ask you this question. And so, go ahead, Mike.
Jamie, why don't you point out the URL up in the search bar and then click on one of them, and we'll look at that again.
Yeah, I was thinking, because this one is a gateway, just because everybody's absorbing so much information. Sure. This is maybe one of the last things we haven't discussed. Sometimes a customer has a website where they do not have FTP access. So without FTP access, we can't have our pages feed into the customer, and then, well, wouldn't that be pretty crappy if you have to tell the customer, sorry, we can't help you. So we do something called building a gateway. So for the instance that the customer built like a Wix site, or built one of these sites where they don't even get access, where they can go optimize their site, because that happens quite often on these too good to be true free websites. There's a reason why they're free. It's because they're not giving you access. They want you to upgrade and start to pay more to do extra things. So we build a gateway. So if I click home, watch what happens here. Okay, SIG Skylights has hyphens between it because we built this website as a gateway. You click here and see how it changed to SIG Skylights. So it changes over, but the website keeps the same look and feel, right? It's still the same template because we use the template. Everything's the same, but this now popped up, and here's the website. You know, sometimes customers have a lot of bling bling on their site, which slows things down, which reduces their SEO score with Google. That's why our pages are so powerful. You know, we don't put all this heavy stuff for like the page load time. There's so many things behind the scenes that, you know, we're not talking about tonight that makes our technology so powerful and delivers Google exactly what it's looking for. But that's, I'll backspace. So SIG Skylights is their core site, which we did not have FTP. So we built them what we call our gateway. And let me go back one more time. I want to go to, let's go here. So this one. So this is our page in Google, right? So here we are right here, SIG Skylights. I click that. So we were number 2. We're not always number 1, right? But our goal is to get them to page 1. We don't tell them, you know, you're number 1, page 1, but that happens a lot, but not every time. So here we are on our page that was indexed in Google for SIG Skylights, our gateway, because you can tell by the hyphens up here. You can see what I just highlighted. And then I click, let's go to portfolio. When I click that, we go over to the portfolio, which is on sigskylights.com. So another powerful thing that's happening here is we are actually a full-fledged backlink times 200 pages from our gateway site to the customer core site. When I click, let's go installation, this is going over to the customer core site. And I want to give one last example here just to show you something. So Atlanta, Georgia, deck-mounted lights, they're dominating it because that's our gateway. We always beat the customer site. That's our gateway. But look, this is the customer website is number 3. So we help them. We call this a battleship effect, where we got 3 battleships in the water dominating page 1 and a couple frigates, you know, here with the Yelp.
Good Navy man, you go, dude.
so we've got the arsenal out there. But our 2 pages here has helped this core site come up. They might not have come up to this, you know, for this keyword term. I pretty much can tell you they probably didn't come up, but now they are, because our gateway pages is also reinforcing this core site to come up. So that's just like a great side effect of our gateway. Or when we build so many pages for, if we had FTP, it also helps their core pages. You know, it shoots a shot of an adrenaline into their core pages of their website.
Awesome.
But look at that. That's beautiful. When they're dominating the page like that, if you take up 3 spots, that means you kicked 3
That's
of your
powerful.
competitors to page 2.
This will be the last question here. This is there's been a bunch fly by. How long approximately does it take them to start seeing results?
Results do vary, but it's typically, you know, we set expectations with a customer, right? You want to under-promise, over-deliver versus the opposite. So we always tell them, look, when we launch it, we're looking for the first 30 to 60 days to be indexed. That means Google knows we're here. They are now aware of our pages and they index it, and we show that by something called SiteRx. Not SiteRx, sorry, site colon. So you do SIT ... with the colon, and then you put the customer's website. When you do that in Google, for anybody's website, if you want to see how many pages they have, you just do site colon and then the URL name. You don't have to put the www, just put abcplumbing.com after the site colon right in the search bar. Then you'll see how many pages they have. That's where we see when Google has indexed our pages. We look for that 30 to 60 days. Then from the 30 to 90 days, or 60 to 90 in that range, we're looking for ranking, meaning now they're putting us, you know, into their whole database, and we could be on page 2, page 3, or sometimes we just go straight to page 1 because our pages are so richly optimized. So ranking is next. And then the slow crawl to the top of the page, which could be 120 to 180 days. But something magical happens when you start getting to the 180, which is the 6 months, right? Where that's what we want our customers to commit to, because they'll see results. Hopefully they're seeing them in month 2.5 right off the bat, or month 2. And we've seen things where we've launched a website and the next day, 24 hours later, they're there because the timing is right and Google crawled it right away. So, you know, no one's in control of Google when they're going to come crawl the site, but sometimes the timing is there. So typically, you know, within the 90-day range, we like to see the rankings. We're expecting to see rankings, you know, page 1 and traffic starting to crank up for the customer. But after 180 days, you know, so you're now at month 6, 7, 8, the content starts to come more and more into play. So it just keeps growing where they're coming up for those secondary keywords that are within their content when someone's searching, because Google is going to start giving more kudos to the customer's website the longer it's there and the deeper it crawls into those content pages.
Okay, and I'll make this the last question here. If the client's website is new, under 4 months old, will this help? And obviously it will, because they're probably not properly SEO to begin with, but does it matter the age of the customer's website?
No, I mean, that can just alter a little bit. Maybe it takes a couple weeks longer, but you know, a website that's been out there for 10 years or someone who's just built it a month ago and then they come to you, we're a shot of an adrenaline in both cases. So we'll give great results. The only thing is if it's been around for 10 years and they have backlinks that have been accumulated over time, not paid backlinks, you can get in trouble for doing that, but like natural backlinks, that can help make that more powerful than the brand new site. But I've seen sites that have been out there for 10 years and they don't have backlinks because they never did anything, you know, in that realm.
Right.
So it's we do it for either or.
And do you have case studies in your training modules and stuff that they can? I know you said you had.
Yeah, we have result videos. I mean, that's why I was saying on our homepage, scroll to the very bottom. That's one of many different result videos.
Okay.
Just that one has a customer on that call, kind of, you know, sharing his experience.
Awesome, awesome. Jamie, I cannot thank you enough. Michael Cahill, I cannot thank you enough. Let me just close with this. We've got an exceptional price that we brokered with Jamie to bring to the table. It's a one-time fee. This is what I call the no-brainer time in your life, when you want to add a tool to your toolbox that you can start making things happen. It's going to get you into the site so you can start training, so that you can start understanding, so that you can start taking this to your current, this is what I'm fixing to say, All of you have a current client base. You don't even need to worry about leads. Everybody on this call has people that you're already building apps for that is a current client base. You can wait 6 months, you can wait a year, but every day you wait, and I say this all the time, get off your butts, make it happen, and start, add this to your toolbox. Mike Cahill, Mike, are you making money with this program now?
Yes, I am.
I mean, I don't need to clarify Mike Cahill. I don't need to verify Mike Cahill. If Mike Cahill tells me the product's working, I can promise you, Kerry Miller knows the product's working, and that's why I asked him to speak tonight, because he's taken this product, he's done it himself, he already knows what happens. Okay, so I don't care about a lottery ticket. I'm worried about making money. Get out and get this product. I mean, it's, I don't care what you do. You've got to invest in your business. Tonight is an investment. Tomorrow's an investment. The next day is an investment. Don't wait on this product. And I'm going to keep this in your eye front. Okay. I will make sure I have this slide that you guys constantly, if you need. Matter of fact, I've got a special link that I'm going to post in the group that I will keep in the group. So that you can get this product through this geosearch.com/IAW. But Jamie, it was a pleasure, my man. You've got me pumped up. I'm sitting here thinking, I got so much going through my brain. I've been here, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, $3,900 a month. I've been there. $399 is a drop in a bucket to any business to get those first page rankings in Google, because that's where the money's at. We all know that. Mike, thank you, my friend.
I'd say this week, anybody who's like, yeah, I don't know, when you're meeting with your customers, just ask them, say, hey, what are you guys doing for SEO? What are you paying? Find out, ask the questions, and see what you have your finger on the heartbeat. See what the customer says. And of course, they can come to the webinar anytime and add this to the arsenal, because why send them elsewhere, right? When you can be giving them the SEO at a cheaper price than what they're paying now, or if they're thinking about it, and higher deliverables.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jamie, thank you so much, my friend. Thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. It's been awesome. And next week, we're going to get right back into coupon apps. I've got the program built. I've got all the framework done. All you got to do is follow my lead and walk to the bank, and we're going to make it happen. Mike, thank you. Jamie, thank you. Good night, everybody. And we will see this. I will have this video up in the group by tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thanks for having us too, Kerry, and thank you, everybody, for listening in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie. You have a great night, my friend.
Likewise.